Hey folks, really exciting times for ProTee VX owners here. At the PGA show, ProTee showed off their Golfcore simulation software. We were supposed to get a beta in Q1. That kind of got pushed to Q2. And what we've got here is a limited alpha test. I was fortunate enough to get an invite, so I just want to show kind of where the software is at. It's very, I would say alpha is a an appropriate description, and the software has a ton of potential, but also maybe a ton of things that again they're working through. And what I'm actually going to do is play a course that's auto generated in Golfcore and compare it to the equivalent course that somebody has created in GS Pro. And I think it's a really good comparison to A, show where Golfcore currently is, and B, show the potential of the automatic course creation from LiDAR that they have, and kind of how I think this has the potential to basically have a, call it, Garmin Home T Hero kind of feel to it, where you can load up pretty much any course in the world. It has a, you know, call it 60% representation of the course, and it won't have all the detail, foliage, and buildings, but you'll be able to get an idea of how the course plays and the layout and things like that. And I think that's pretty cool already. And so I call it kind of a home tea hero on steroids, and it's super exciting that ProTee VX owners are getting this completely for free. It's tremendous, tremendous value. So yeah, what I'm gonna do here is go to the LiDAR generated courses, grab the United States. We're going to search for Whale Hollow, and it is the one in Charlotte. Go there. I'm gonna move myself up a T box to just be more equivalent to GS Pro. Um, and we're going to start that up. While that loads, I do have to connect my ProTee to it because I was just in GS Pro earlier. Oops, not ProTee Play, we go Golfcore. So we're connected there. Um, so yeah, you can see the course there is loading, and it basically grabs the um, LiDAR data and the where I'm guessing their best estimate of the foliage. You can see in the flyover there that there was something like, it looked like an old bunker or something maybe in the fairway. There's a couple things here that definitely could use, call it, a human touch. And um, but again, this is what the whole generally does look like. So um, I generally aim kind of right at this big bunker here. And yeah, we're going to, the aiming again is a little another thing that I think they need to kind of improve there. You can see here when I drag around, I can't aim exactly to where my mouse is, so I kind of have to eyeball where I think, that looks like I'm aimed at the bunker. And again, alpha, I'm sure they're going to sort a lot of this stuff out. So let's try and get down there just to show what the course looks like.
Ready.
So that's going to be a hair left. I hope I don't end up in that bunker. And I'm in the bunker, which is okay. So we can see how the bumper physics work here.
Ready.
I'm just gonna try and get out of here with a 6-iron.
Ready.
So, to me, it's rolling way down the fairway there. That felt like a lot. I hit that.
Ready.
I hit that pretty well. Um, so, it's given me pretty good distance out of what probably should have ate up quite a decent amount of
Ready.
the spin there. So we've got 71 yards, and this is going to highlight what the biggest problem with the current
Ready.
state of Golfcore is this chipping and putting is it needs a lot of work right now. Let's just put it that way. Basically, you cannot get a ball to stop. So I'm gonna hit this about 65 yards, and it's just gonna roll completely off the back of the green. So that's 50-yard carry. I put it in the bunker again. I didn't get it far enough, but let's check this out of the bunker.
Ready.
And yeah, you can just see how that rolls for miles. And at this point, it's not even worth kind of trying to put it out. You could go back and forth. It's like these greens are 40 stimp or friction was forgotten somehow. So yeah, I think again, it's an alpha for a reason. I think that they're definitely going to have to look at this. I think it's related to basically how when the ball hits, like all of the speed is being converted into speed along the ground, which it shouldn't be. But this is obviously very common feedback that I'm sure ProTee is working on. But I basically, want to go back and we can use this scout cam if we need to, and just kind of, again, let's go actually back to the tee box. So I'm going to go back to the tee box. You can see here, it looks like maybe there used to be a bunker here or something that showed up on maybe some old LiDAR that is no longer there. And these are the types of things that are probably easily sorted out in the course creator. But this is I'd call it pretty solid representation of the first hole. We've even got trees populated in there. How accurate are they to the actual type of trees? I don't actually know, but that's a pretty good representation. Again, I'd say very home tee hero like, but with proper kind of 3D graphics. So I am going to now quit Golfcore. And so we're going to quit. And I am going to quickly fire up GS Pro. And so while this loads up, I do basically just want to say, I think we've got very exciting times in the golf simulator software world. I think the space was heavily dominated by GS Pro for the last, I want to say, 4, um, 5, even 6 years. I remember kind of starting out with GS Pro, even I think in 2018 or 2019 when it first came out. So I've been a GS Pro user for a long, long time. The software is great, but competition is always great, and I think that ProTee is going to have its place with Golfcore. GS Pros well established; it's going to have its place, but I really see the local courses as being a niche that Golfcore can fill, and so I do have to go into my obs here and just change my game capture. Apologies. Doing this all live. Okay, so we loaded up the first hole here. Let's do the flyover. Again, a lot more detail in the GS Pro version as we'd expect. I'd say we do see some of the maybe things in Unity that things popping in and out a little bit that Golfcore is supposedly supposed to be a little bit better at, being Unreal Engine. But that being said, this isn't one of the, call it, newer GS Pro courses as well. This is just one that I'm super familiar with, so I went with it. But let's, again, now we look at how we can aim in GS Pro, super easy. Again, I think ProTee is going to bring something like that to Golfcore for sure. But yeah, like the hole looks phenomenal. I'm not going to necessarily play this whole thing out in GS Pro because A, I've done it a billion times, and B, we all know what GS Pro looks like. But basically, you can see here how I would say Golfcore might not represent what the course looks like when you stand on that tee box with the detail, but from a kind of what the hole shape and how it's going to actually play in terms of the fairway and the distances, it's right there. And yeah, so let's hit a couple for fun, but I'm super, super impressed with the automatic course creation. I don't live in Charlotte, so I've never played Quail Hollow, but I loaded up courses, local courses that aren't in GS Pro that I'm heavily familiar with. There's no reason for anybody to build them in GS Pro, so for a long time there was basically no way for me to really play them. And now, even in the alpha state, Golfcore's provided a mechanism for that, which I think is super, super exciting. Um, and I think they've approached it brilliantly. So did not put myself in the bunker there. I will say, again, the maybe just being such a veteran GS Pro user, I'm very, very familiar with how the ball bounces and rolls in GS Pro, and the obviously the greens are an issue in Golfcore, but I think I didn't hit one in the rough on ProTee, but the rough is super punishing. I will say that in terms of, I said, roll out. And let's see here. Just yanked it. But we're in a GS Pro bunker now. And compared to the ProTee one, Um, we all know kind of when we play bunker shots in GS Pro, it's going to
Ready.
eat up a lot of that spin, as it should. Oh, well, there you go. Still made a nice par, and so um, there's kind of a really quick comparison. I do want to play around in the course editor, so I've built a GS Pro course just for my own learning and experience, and I only did a few holes, but it was a heavily time consuming, heavy learning curve task. Whereas the course creator, I've spent a little bit of time in it on Golfcore. And again, having the LiDAR as a starting point and then trying to massage that and add foliage, I think it's something that is highly accessible. And um, ProTee definitely still has a way to go with Golfcore. Um, but this is a tremendous value add for ProTee VX owners and people on forums and things like that are always asking, ProTee VX versus VTrack, and for a while there, it was pretty close. The ProTee VX and VTrack hardware is neck and neck, very similar. Um, the software on the VTrack was getting better all the time. ProTee VX just rolled out in labs the AI trainer, which again is beta and has a ways to go. But the equivalent kind of offering from VTrack is a paid kind of camera add-on type experience, and they're not going to have Golfcore for free. I know there's plans for ProTee to make Golfcore available to other launch monitors, and now that I've seen all the work they've put in on the LiDAR auto-generated courses, it makes a ton of sense, and I think this is going to definitely be something to watch, kind of as it rolls through the alpha into the beta and towards a final release. And so I'm super excited about Golfcore. I know, we've got Pure Play from some of the folks that were involved in GS Pro. We've got Infinite Tees. Both those are Unreal Engine as well. It's just a great time to be in the sim golf world. Competition's always a great thing. I think all these offerings are going to just push each of them to find their own niche and be competitive, and that's a great thing for consumers at the end of the day. So I think I'm going to leave the video there. I might fire up ProTee um, Golfcore a bit more and play through a couple holes. That was obviously a very abbreviated, call it Golfcore demo. I just wanted to more actually not show Golfcore itself, but the auto-generated courses, and that was the thing that I was super impressed with. I think the physics and the graphics and everything that can all come and be updated, and those are things that inherently are going to improve over time. Um, but the bones of the LiDAR uh, auto course generation is super exciting. I've rambled on enough about it, so I'm going to leave it there. But hopefully, you got into the alpha. If you didn't, hopefully that gave you a good taste of what's to come. And if you have anything that you want to see, feel free to leave a comment or a request. Um, Definitely looking forward to trying a few more things in Golfcore and trying my hand at maybe some course generation myself. And I plan to kind of record some videos about how that works and any of the kind of tricks or bugs that I find through that process as well. And hopefully here towards Q3 we get I think that's the plan to roll out a beta to a wider audience and then a full release after that. And so, if I got any of that wrong, I'm sure ProTee or someone can correct me in the comments. But I'll leave it there for now. And again, if you guys have any comments or requests or anything you want to see demoed on Golfcore, just leave a comment and I'll see what I can get to. Thanks a lot.